How to assert a valid discharge and prevent future collection attempts. What if you could discharge a debt legally and prevent any future collection attempts? The truth is, under UCC and federal law you can. But only if you follow the correct process. Let me show you how to do it step by step. Once a negotiable instrument has been endorsed and lawfully transferred, particularly using the clause without recourse, the endorser's obligation is presumed to be extinguished. However, creditors and institutions often continue collection attempts due to public ignorance of discharge laws. To guard against this, one must assert a valid discharge under the Uniform Commercial Code, UCC. The relevant law is UCC Section 3-601A, which provides, "The obligation of a party to pay the instrument is discharged as stated in this article, or by an act or agreement with the party, which would discharge an obligation to pay money under a simple contract." This provision confirms that the discharge of a negotiable instrument can be asserted by 1. Full performance of the underlying obligation. 2. Tender of payment using an eligible instrument, e.g., a properly endorsed promissory note. 3. Release by agreement, or 4. Operation of law such as fraud, duress, or unauthorized use. To assert a discharge effectively, one must retain a copy of the original instrument showing the endorsement and date of transfer. Issue a formal notice of discharge to the collecting party, referencing UCC Section 3-601 and attaching proof of the instrument's delivery. Demand an accounting under UCC Section 9-210 if the collector claims the obligation remains, shifting the burden of proof back to them. A sample clause from such a notice might read, "This serves as formal notice that the obligation referenced in loan/account hashtag was discharged upon tender and endorsement of the instrument dated date, per UCC Sections 3-301 and 3-601. No further claims may be made absent verified, sworn rebuttal." Additionally, UCC Section 3-603 reinforces this protection. If tender of payment of an obligation to pay an instrument is made, the obligation of the obligor to pay interest after the due date is discharged. Even if a collector refuses the endorsed instrument or rejects it without lawful reason, the law still supports the discharge. The endorser's obligation is considered satisfied upon lawful tender, and any attempt to collect afterward may constitute fraudulent conveyance or unjust enrichment. It is also strategic to send notices via registered or certified mail, retaining proof of delivery. This renders the tender legally accepted through the doctrine of constructive acceptance. Once delivery is proven, acceptance is presumed. Thus, asserting discharge is not about begging for release. It is about documenting and enforcing lawful closure. The collector's silence, refusal, or failure to rebut with evidence may result in tacit acquiescence, a powerful doctrine where silence is treated as agreement. Footnote: This section outlines how to lawfully discharge obligations under UCC Sections 3-601 and 3-603 and defend against further collection activity.